The Constitution has produced a real stability and a real prosperity in America that make us quite different from other nations. And that Constitution was framed largely by Christian individuals who used many biblical ideas for what they did in that Constitution. Right. So it's not a secular document. Now, we hear that it is, and one of the interesting textbooks I find in use across the nation is this document right here. This little textbook is called The Godless Constitution. Now, that's a fairly interesting title for a book, and it's written by a couple of professors. They go through and say, oh, it is a godless document. This nonsense about being religious people involved or religious ideas involved, it just doesn't happen.
But is that a cross there I see on the front of that book?
Well, it almost looks like it. It looks like it. But, you know, one of the most interesting aspects of this book is not how many PhDs they have after their name, because they got plenty. It's at the back of the book. These guys, we've got their picture, we have their bio, and at the back of the book they tell us the sources for their claim, because they claim that it's a godless constitution. So what they give us here is a note on sources. So now we're looking for all the documentation that proves it's godless. Well, right up top they say we have dispensed with the usual scholarly apparatus of footnotes. Whoa, time out. You say it's a godless constitution, but you're not going to document that. We just have to trust you. And so what they say is they say, oh, everyone knows this, so we're not going to use any footnotes. We're not going to document. What an amazing thing for an academic textbook to give no sources for their citations except just trust us. We're PhDs. We know what we're talking about.
Wow.
Now, that's widely used. Most students don't know the difference. They don't know to go ask those guys. No, why do you say that? Why do you say it's godless? Why do you say the Founding Fathers were atheist, agnostic? Where's your proof? Oh, everybody knows it. That's a very poor excuse for saying that it's godless. On the other side, you got books like that one, Original Intent, that says exactly the opposite. 1,500 footnotes. 87% of the footnotes come from the Founding Fathers' own life while they were still alive.
Wow.
So when you use their documents, you reach a conclusion that says it's not godless. When you ignore all the documents, you can say, trust us, it's godless constitution. Now, this is revisionism designed to have an impact on our behavior and our policy. So what happens is judges will quote that and say it's a godless constitution, so you can't have this religious liberty, this religious display, whatever. But that's not based on history. Now, the intellectual side comes in and says, well, if it's not godless, what proof is there that God's involved in it? And there are half a dozen proofs that unequivocally show the Constitution not only is not godless, it is very Christian in its construction orientation.